There are no monsters, but all of them are real. This is a book about monster making, the stories societies tell about who they think isn't normal or typical, the process of defining people as something outside normal categories, as something monstrous. When people hear the word monster, they tend to think of sinister things, vampires, zombies, and Frankenstein, or sociopaths and serial killers. But there are fun monsters too, like the Muppets, and others that are somewhere between terrifying and amusing, like centaurs. What these real and fictional monsters share is a capacity to challenge or transcend ideas about typical bodies or behavior. Monsters are category breakers. Monsters are the work of the imagination. Monster, as I use it in this book, is a broad catch-all for any term, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral, that people use to define someone who falls across or outside the categories of normal people or beings in the world as far as they understand them. If people and wolves are separate categories in the understanding of the universe, then the discovery of a werewolf would be the discovery of something abnormal or monstrous. As a hybrid of two regular categories, the werewolf is a monster. This kind of monster would be alarming to meet, and not simply because of its teeth. By showing that wolves and people are not entirely separate after all, a werewolf would reveal the limits of our categories and change how we thought about who or what humans really are. Monsters are ideas that show us things. They reveal the edge of types of being, or how far we can go before we stop being one thing and suddenly snap into another type of thing, like a light switch going from on to off, except that the monster is neither on nor off, but that seesaw space in between, where the light threatens to blow a fuse as it judders between settings. My capacious definition of monsters includes anyone who becomes labeled in ways that exclude them from the definition of normal. This process of labeling, of what I call monster making or monstrification, reveals the limits of the categories with which societies understand and organize the world and its peoples. In biology, monster used to work as a placeholder, with characteristics and a shape that allowed people to design techniques for filling in the gaps in knowledge. Today, monster has been replaced by phrases like unknown species or newly discovered species. There was a similar phenomenon in the mathematical sciences. Scientific papers and the notes of scientists were once filled with what they called demons, their label for unruly phenomena. This category allowed scientists to generate experiments to investigate the observations they could not yet explain.